With the abolition of slavery in 1834 and emancipation in 1838, the plantation owners were faced with the dilemma of finding suitable labor to work the sugar plantations. They looked towards the continent of Asia as a solution to their problem. Between 1838 and 1917, East Indians were contracted to work on the sugar plantations in Jamaica. Many Indians were recruited from the northern state of Uttar Pradesh, home of the famous Taj Mahal. It was from here, in the district of Bahadurpur, in the village of Basti, that the humble Jaghai and his wife Atwari, in seeking a better life for themselves, decided to become indentured workers. They boarded the ship SS Indus in 1905, destined for Jamaica. During the long and harrowing sea journey, their first child Ramjas was born. The couple worked on the plantation in Hillside, Clarendon. After the 5 years indentureship period, instead of returning to India, they decided to settle in Jamaica. The enterprising Jaghai purchased 15 acres of land in Mitchelltown, Clarendon, where he reared cattle. When his herd became too big for the property, he leased over 20 acres of land at Gibraltar Camp, Mona Estate. He also branched out into arable farming. Jaghai's family had grown, with 2 more sons, Sine and Chunmun, and a daughter, Ethelyn. He tended to the Mona fields, a task he held to his dying day. His grave lies on the grounds of the Mona campus, near to the Taylor Hall. Jaghai and Atwari's children had matured and settled down with families of their own. Sine Abraham Jaghai married Ambrosine Ragbar, daughter of Ragbar and Jaitun from St. Mary. In 1936, Henry William Jaghai was born in Tivoli Gardens, Kingston. The young Jaghai's life was surrounded by poverty, squalor, and an absentee father. His mother worked non-stop to provide for her 3 children, Henry, Harry, and Henrietta. Henry, being the eldest, had to assume a supportive role to help his family. His schooling, therefore, did not go beyond age 14. After attending Ebenezer Elementary and St. Thomas Aquinas, now known as St. Richard's, Henry worked as an apprentice mechanic at Horaney Garage, after which he moved on to John Crook Limited, then to motor sales as a full-fledged mechanic. Henry's affiliation with St. Thomas Aquinas as an altar server of the church paved the way for a significant milestone in his life. It was here that he laid eyes on a church attendee, the fair maiden Myrtle Hill Suki of Whitehall Avenue, and was smitten by her beauty. The sparks of love must have not only been bright but brilliant, because very soon after, Henry, at the young age of 18, and Myrtle, at the tender age of 17, became husband and wife on April 25, 1954. God shone favor on the couple and blessed them with their first child, Esther. Sadly, she was called away from this mortal life in 1959. Although engulfed in grief, the young couple realized that life had to go on. By the end of 1977, Henry and Myrtle had completed their family unit, which comprised of Barbara, Patrick, Andrew, Andrea, Peter, and Paul. High ambitions, hard work, and sacrifice laid the foundation for Henry to establish his own garage and auto parts business, Jaghai's Garage Limited, in 1968. Initially, the company dealt exclusively with the sale of new and used auto parts for British-made cars. But as the global market changed, Jaghai's extended its business operations to the sale of Japanese auto parts. The company, which engaged the services of all of Henry's sons, flourished to become the leading auto parts dealer between 1970 to the early 1990s. Henry found great delight in the game for gentlemen, cricket. He started playing school cricket at age 10. This passion formed the basis for the founding of the All-Indian Cricket Team in 1954. He became the financier and manager of the team, as well as the captain for a few years. The team competed in many local competitions and won several trophies, the most prestigious being the Rankin Cup. In 1973, accompanied by a large contingent of family and friends as supporters, the team toured Trinidad and Guyana, where it won most of its matches. It was a good occasion where sporting, cultural, and social activities merged to make the tour an unforgettable experience. The fervour and excitement of World Cup Cricket 1987 in India and Pakistan were too much for Henry to miss. It would also provide him with the opportunity to visit the ancestral home of his grandfather. Both Henry and Myrtle watched the exciting and fun-filled games at Mumbai, Calcutta, Delhi, Jaipur, Karachi, and Lahore. Throughout their years together, Henry and Myrtle have been thankful for all of life's mercies. They especially felt contented that they had laid a solid foundation for all their children, 5 of whom were now married. These children in turn started raising families of their own. Henry and Myrtle were accomplished travelers, having toured London for 25 consecutive years. In 1977, they visited the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy, rode the gondola in Venice, stood before the Alps in Switzerland, went to the Eiffel Tower in France, passed through Austria and Belgium. Their North American sojourn brought them to the states of Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, and Illinois. Other international visits included the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the sunny Isle of Puerto Rico, and the South American country of Guyana. Their most memorable travel experience, however, lies in their 1987 2-week trip to India. They visited the metropolitan city of Mumbai. They went to the cultural capital of Calcutta, the crowded city of Delhi, and the pink city of Jaipur, where they visited palaces, rode camels, and elephants. They enjoyed the solace and peace at the Ganges River. The high point of their trip was a visit to Uttar Pradesh in the north. They stood in awe before the majestic Taj Mahal in Agra. When they visited the village of Basti, the place from where his grandfather came, Henry could only imagine the type of life his ancestors led. He was unable to find any remaining relatives, as all of them had died out with the exception of a cousin who had moved to a nearby village. His dream of visiting his ancestors' abode was finally fulfilled Henry possessed an intense passion for the culture of his ancestors. He was instrumental in giving and garnering financial support to build Jamaica's first ever Hindu temple, the Sanatan Dharma Mandir, in 1976. In 1984, he donated his premises at 10 Henderson Avenue to the Prema Satsang to house its temple as well as its medical clinic. In 1978, Henry, along with other Indo-Jamaicans, formed the Indo-Jamaican Cultural Society, which was committed to the promotion, propagation, and preservation of East Indian culture in Jamaica. The society was instrumental in organizing the 150th celebration and reenactment of the landing of the first set of East Indians in Jamaica. Between 1978 to 1990, Henry hosted the Grand Pagwan Diwali festivals on his sprawling premises at Bombay Stud Farm in Bushy Park, St. Catherine. He has promoted numerous Indian stage shows featuring dancers, musicians, and singers from Jamaica, Trinidad, and Guyana. In the early 1990s, he spearheaded 2 cultural tours sponsored by UNESCO, which were hosted in Trinidad. The participants of these cultural exposés came from Guyana, Jamaica, Suriname, and Trinidad. His fervor for the Hindu culture led him to produce 8 LPs of traditional Indian folk music of the Caribbean, utilizing local talents as well as performers from Canada, Guyana, India, Trinidad, and United Kingdom. In his ongoing quest to preserve the culture of his forefathers, Henry came up with the idea of recording all information in black and white, which could be passed down to the future generations. He commissioned the services of researchers to write a book, starting with the historical journey of the East Indian indentured laborers and how they integrated to become part of the cultural, economic, political, and social fabric of Jamaica. The book Home Away from Home, 150 Years of Indian Presence in Jamaica, was launched in 1995. As a Justice of the Peace, Henry has served his country well, mentoring, financing, giving support in general. His helping hand is always extended to those in need. In recognition for his outstanding service to the community and the country, he was awarded the prestigious Golden Scale Award in 2002 for being the most outstanding Justice of the Peace in the County of Surrey. Pastimes are important to Henry. He's an avid fan of pigeon racing. He joined the Pigeon Club in the 1960s and remained an active member until it became defunct in the 1970s due to the mass migration of many of its members. He had over 300 pigeons which he bred and raced. In the 1960s, his pigeon Chantilly clocked the fastest time of 58 minutes flying from Mandeville to Rosalie Avenue, Kingston, a record which to date has not been broken. In 1999, Henry, along with other pigeon racing enthusiasts, decided to form a new club, which they named Jamaica Racing Pigeon Club. Meetings are held at his Bombay Stud Farm. Henry's greatest repute, however, lies in the horse racing industry. His interest in the horses was sparked when every day as a youngster he had to pass the stables on Red Hills Road en route to school. His entry into the sport of kings began in 1964 when he purchased his first horse Lachmirani. Henry transformed from being a mere racehorse observer to owner, and then to breeder. He acquired his first horse farm in Spring Garden, St. Catherine. Success in the industry prompted him to purchase a larger farm at Bushy Park, St. Catherine, which he named Bombay Stud Farm. Several years after, he relocated the stud farm to Grange, St. Catherine. His champion horses, Tulsi Kumar, won the Guineas Mile, Rika, the Governor's Stakes, and Lady Bangalore, the Jamaica Oaks Trophy. As a racehorse owner and breeder, Henry has made an indelible mark in the industry. He holds a champion breeder title for 8 consecutive years, from 1997 to 2004. In 1997, he copped the prestigious None Such Award for his outstanding contribution to horse racing, and was again publicly acclaimed in 2003 when he was inducted into the Racing Hall of Fame. Henry shares a strong tie with the Arjun family. This came about when his grandmother, Jaitun, married Arjun. His mother's half-brothers and sisters and their family units became the extended family that he knew and grew up with at 66.5 Chisholm Avenue. Henry was very devoted to and displayed a deep respect for his mother, Ambrosine Jaghai, who departed this world in January 2006. He has always and still shares a strong bond with his siblings, Harry and Henrietta, and their children. Success and fame has not affected Henry's humility. For 44 years, he still maintains his Jamaican residence at 9 Rosalie Avenue off Waltham Park Road. Henry has never forgotten his wide circle of friends. He has never turned his back on any of his relatives. Henry William Jaghai can now sit back and relax. He can reminisce and be proud of the various paths in life he has taken. He has created a rich legacy for all his grandchildren. Alicia, Stacy, Rajesh, Tira, Shari, Sasha, Alex, Adam, Tiffany, and Matthew. A legacy which they can pass down to their children. The story of a great Indo-Jamaican man who has made and is still making a significant mark on the earth on which he walks.